Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another Tuesday chat with OTRAMM. Like all the chats we've had before, no real plan for anything this evening. Just whatever you guys would like to chat about. Let me know. Tech questions, Land Cruiser thoughts. Yeah, whatever. We've had a couple of cool jobs coming through at the shop. We did a set of Yoda Tech Gull Wing quarter panel windows on an 80 series Monday. Those were awesome. And we started on installing a long-range automotive auxiliary fuel tank in a 200 series. Got it as far as the tank is in and plumbed. I just need to wire it and do some tidying up. And we shot install videos for the Gull Wing hatch panels for the fuel tank. I just haven't edited them yet. So watch for those in the near future. What else is going on? We started a new segment on Sunday because a couple of people had asked for walk-around videos of trucks and things that are coming through the shop. So I figured I'd do like a weekly update video of just what's going on in the shop. What's not making it into the actual how to repair videos, because we do a lot more than what makes it into the main YouTube videos. So we started that on Sunday. Just walked around and did a brief intro to the trucks that we did last week. I've started shooting short clips as we've been working on this week, as we've been working on trucks this week, to incorporate those into this coming weekend's update video. So hopefully it'll be a little bit longer than the one we just did. Hoping to use it as a video, as a place to do shop updates, what's going on in the shop, fan mail, viewer mail, share things like that. So far, we've only gotten one viewer mail, and it was the super awesome coffee from Adam S., which I just finished off and very much enjoyed. But yeah, so that's about all that's going on this week, or is going on so far this week. So yeah, just let me know what you guys want to chat about. We are getting super close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. And once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we kind of become a legitimate channel in YouTube's eyes, and it opens up more perks and different options for things we can do with the channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe below, because we're really close to hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark, and it's going to be super awesome, and I'm going to do a happy dance when we hit that. Also, check out our Patreon link down in the description below if you'd like to help support the channel. It takes time away from doing other repairs and stuff at the shop to make the how-to videos and all the video equipment and lighting and software and all that jazz. So if you're down with supporting the channel, please check out our Patreon link below. We'd appreciate any help in trying to make the videos better. What else? Oh, we also started an Amazon, I think it's Amazon Associates page. If you go to our actual website, OTRAMM.com, where the video pages are listed, we've started listing out the parts and the tools that we use to do the how-to videos. And those are linked out to Amazon pages. It doesn't change the price for you guys, but we get a small commission off of anything that's ordered through those links on our website. So that, that just goes to helping support the channel as well. And it's, theoretically parts and tools you guys already need. Of course, I started doing that after I made most of the how-to videos, and I don't have any way of editing into the video to, hey, go to the channel or to go to our website. So it's just in the descriptions below. But a couple of people have seen it, gone to our website, gone to the lists, and ordered parts and tools. And I'd just like to say, if you're watching, I really appreciate it, because every little bit helps. And hopefully you guys can hear and see me, because nobody's actually popped into the chat window yet. And hopefully I wasn't just rambling to myself with no actual audio. Also making super slow progress on the 80 series buyer's guide, baselining guide, and modifications guide book. I've just about got the first section of the buyer's guide written. It's going a lot slower than I thought it would. And Red 1985 Nation, thanks for checking in that you can hear and see me. So yeah, I was, I was thinking that writing a quick Land Cruiser book wouldn't take that long. It's taken me way longer than I thought it would, and I haven't even started like putting links and pictures and captions and any of that in. All I've been writing so far is the actual, I guess, narrative. So yeah, so that's coming along, but don't look for it anytime soon. What else have we got? The red FJ40 that's been the background to, I think, every video we've made that's been in the corner of the shop. That one finally got sorted out, and the weather was nice enough that we could take it out and test drive it. So that one's finished and gone. It was picked up last weekend. So now we have our long-term project bay back, and we can bring the Seafoam FJ40 in to start doing the 3FE and 5-speed swap on it. We've started, working on the donor drivetrain here and there, since we don't need the truck inside to work on that. So we've been working on getting that prepped. And we're just about to the point where it's time to bring the actual 40 series in, pull its stock drivetrain, and start transplanting. So yeah, look for updates coming in on that in the near future. We've started blasting and painting and cleaning all the parts for it. I think that's going to be, it's going to be a nice swap when it's done. Hopefully a lot more reliable than the old points ignition was. We tried swapping that one over to Protronics electronic ignition. And I don't know what's up with the new version of the Protronics, but everyone we've installed has burned out. Like, it burns through the wiring in the same place. So we've stopped using them. And, a couple of them that we had installed, we ended up swapping them back to points or swapping in like a DUI distributor. But the owner of this 40 decided he wanted to go all out, get rid of the F. So we're putting in a fuel-injected 3FE, 5-speed and split case. And, installing power steering while we're at it, since the 3FE, already has the power steering pump on it. And we've got the 60 series box from the donor truck, so we're just going to go that way. So he'll end up with, fuel injection, power steering, all the modern amenities. So yeah, that should be a fun swap. And that's all I can really think of to talk about. So hopefully you guys have questions or, Land Cruiser stuff you would like to chat about. Because I'm about out of things I can think of. I'm trying to think anything else new. LX or GS, which is tougher? Um, GS or GX? So I'm thinking GS is a car, isn't it? I'm not positive. Um, but which one is tougher? Assuming you're meaning okay, GX. Um, it's hard to say. My gut feeling is the GX. Um, because that's built on the Prado platform. But I really don't have any good information to back that up. It's just kind of a gut feeling. But we don't see a ton of GXs through. But the ones we have seen through have basically just been in for maintenance, just for timing belts. We haven't actually done any in-depth repairs on them. So my gut feeling may be that they're tougher just because we don't see very many of them, but that also could be just because people aren't thinking to bring those to us, and there's not as many of them out there. So yeah, that wasn't a very good answer, but my gut is GX, uh, but I don't really have super good reasoning behind that. We see less to rust on those, the ones that do come through, like the Forerunners and the GXs, don't seem to have the rust issues that the Land Cruisers of that vintage do. We've been seeing more and more 100 series vintage cruisers, with just bad holes in the frame, chunks falling off. Yeah, just bad rust lately. Have I thought about making shirts with logos or stickers? So yeah, we do have stickers. We've got two different versions. One is like the full truck dog logo cutout thing, and then one is like a circle, black and white, zoomed in, like on the dog head in the window. Actually, just had those made probably about a month ago. I've got a whole stack of them sitting on my desk at work. Shoot me an email with your address, and I'll throw some stickers in the mail. I've been talking to the guys that did the stickers. They also do shirts, and I've been talking to them about doing shirts for us as well. They only do single color printing though, so I'm not sure how our logo's gonna work with single color. So I'm still working on options there. I just haven't had the disposable income to throw at shirts lately. So it is a thought, and we have kicked around doing designs for them, but we haven't actually done it yet. Why does the GX have 6 bolts on the wheels versus the LX having 5? The GX follows the Prado platform, so same as Forerunner, Mini Truck, and the older cruisers with the 6 lug, the 100 series and 200 series, and the Tundras switched to 5 lug. No idea why, but they're just different platforms. So yeah, I don't know why they did that, but yeah. And on the shirts, yeah, if there is interest in shirts, leave me comments down below, and I will do some more looking at shirts. I briefly ran one of those like Teespring campaigns, like where you design a shirt, and then if folks want them, they can log in and order them, and it's kind of like print on demand. But I did a pretty terrible job of editing and uploading the photo. Like there was a big white square around it. So we only sold one sweatshirt to our super awesome customer, Steve. He's the only one with an original edition OTRAMM hoodie. But I actually have the software now to actually legitimately edit the logo to do t-shirts and get rid of the white background. Of course, that also means I have to learn that software in order to do it. And I'm still working on learning the video editing software so I can do more cool stuff with videos. But yeah, yeah, folks want stickers, just let me know. Shoot me an email, OTRAMM@OTRAMM.com. Shoot me an email with your address, and I can send out stickers, while we've still got some. And if we run out, I'll just get more printed. And my camera color must be way off on this camera. I never noticed it before. The can of soda I'm drinking is red, and it just came across as orange, at least on my screen. Yeah, what would you like to know on the LX MMA? I need to redo the timing belt videos now that we've got better audio equipment to get rid of all that clicking noise that's in there. Replace the timing belt and it's leaking coolant. Can you tell general area where you're leaking coolant? I'm wondering if you're missing the O-ring on the little coolant pipe that plugs into the back of the water pump. That's my gut guess, at least. I've come real close to leaving that out. Front center, more by the block. So you put the new O-ring in. And is it coming out from behind the timing cover? Or is it coming out like above the timing cover, like up in the valley, and then working its way down? Trying to think. And how good did you scrub? Okay, rack and pinion area. But can you tell how high it starts? Like if it's coming from inside the timing cover, or if it's coming. Can you see any coolant above the timing cover, like up around like where the thermostat and all that bolts up? Because possibly if you didn't get a good glue joint, or the water outlet glues onto the water pump, I could see it leaking there as well. The other thing is how clean you got the block surface before you put the new water pump in. Okay, so if you're not seeing it up top up there, yeah, shoot me some pics. OTRAMM@OTRAMM.com. So if you're not seeing it on top of the cover, my gut would be either that little O-ring in the back of the water pump tore or didn't seat properly and like kicked back on the pipe when you sent the water pump home, or where the old gasket was, like where the little locating rings come out of the block where the studs are. It can be real difficult to get all the old gasket material off around those locating rings. and that could possibly, keep the gasket from seating properly. Trying to think what else. I mean, there's always the chance that you got a bum water pump and it's leaking out the water pump seal. Um, I'm assuming you used an ASIN kit, and I haven't seen an ASIN pump leak, but that's not to say that it couldn't. And if it's not coming out, if it's coming down the front but not from behind the cover, check the coolant pipes that go down to the oil cooler. There's that one like 5/8 pipe that goes down, and then there's a couple of little ones up at the throttle body. But I guess you could possibly have a leak down at the lower hose where it bolts up to the oil cooler as well. But I would think that would kick off more to the side rather than the center. Wow, all the way from Latvia. What to do with rust? Granted, the 200 series aren't as old, but we haven't seen them really start rusting here. Fluid film seems to be a really good rust preventative. You spray it, on the frame, in the frame. It smells terrible, but it's like a waxy, oily film that seeps into all the cracks and like seals up against water. And back to MMA. If you're also making a strange sound, I don't know. I mean, possibly water pump is bad, or possibly the fan bracket kicked the bucket when you put it back together. We've had that happen. Without actually looking at it hands-on, it's hard to say. And it sucks, but you're probably just gonna have to work backwards until you find the leak/sound. You could always the fan bracket, the big aluminum bracket that bolts across. It bolts on one side. The AC bracket bolts into it, and then the fan hub bolts on. Yeah, it's what holds the fan on. It's the fan bracket. I can't think of any better way to describe it. But the bearings in those will go bad and make a horrible racket. But yeah, I would maybe start with popping the driver's side upper cam cover off, because that one's relatively easy to get out of there. And just take a peek down inside to see if you can see where the leak's coming from. But yeah, I wouldn't run it too long without figuring out where the sound is or where the coolant leak is. Because if it is this water pump that's leaking and or making the sound and it locks up, there's a good chance of throwing the timing belt, which is a good chance of ruining the engine. And I guess I should have asked, what kind of strange sound is it making? Like a clicking sound. I'm not sure what would make a clicking sound in there, because usually the fan bracket makes kind of like a rumbly, grumbly sound when it starts to fail. And usually the same with a water pump. you'll either hear it rumbling, grumbling, or you'll hear it squeaking really loud. I mean, I guess either of them could make a clicking sound, but I'm almost wondering if something got dropped down in the timing cover and is rubbing, which would not be a good thing. I was doing a timing belt a couple of months ago and was putting the very last cover on, and had the 10 millimeter nut that holds the front of the cover on in my hand, and dropped it, and it bounced perfectly to go all the way down the front, and had to take the entire timing belt back apart again to get the nut that I dropped in back out. It was not a good day. And yeah, maybe if your phone will do it, take a short video, and shoot me a short video clip of the sound, and I'll see if I can tell anything from that. It'll be guessing, but it might help narrow things down. Hmm. Yes, it matters what coolant you use. And it depends on the year of your truck. The earlier ones take the Toyota Red, and the later ones take the Toyota Pink. And the switch is like 03, 04, somewhere in there. 99. Okay, so 99 should have been Toyota Red, which, in my opinion, is the better of the two coolants. The Pink seems to destroy water pumps and seals and radiators. The Pink eats everything. Theoretically, you can get away with using like the Prestone, like all makes, all models. It says it's good for Asian, but you're really not supposed to mix coolants. So, like you switch to the yellowish green. Prestone says that it's fine to use and it'll mix okay. But it's always a gamble. So it's one of those, you should either, completely flush the system out and switch it completely to, the Prestone yellowish green, or stick with the Toyota Red. I wouldn't mix and match them. I've seen bad things happen with other coolants, like other manufacturers' coolants, when they get mixed with other stuff. Like they'll turn into a jelly and just do generally bad things. The newer all make stuff is supposed to be good. Not sure what it had in it. If it was amber, that sounds like somebody in the past mixed it with something else, because it should be like cherry Kool-Aid red for a 99. And then the newer Toyota stuff, it's kind of like it's mostly pink, but it's kind of got an orange cast to it. Yeah, but the 99 should be bright cherry red. So if it was anything else, I would guess that somebody has already mixed the coolants. And amber probably sounds like what you would get if you mixed the Toyota Red with green or the yellowish stuff. So yeah, personally, I would probably flush that out and go back to using straight Toyota Red. And my feeling is that's what Toyota spec'd to be in that engine. So that's, we put in whatever Toyota spec'd for that engine. And to Joe's question of can you use the new Toyota Red coolant in older Toyota cars? I don't know. Like I've got a bunch of older Toyota stuff that, had green in it when green was the only stuff you had. And I use, green old school ethylene glycol in those. In the like 96 to early 2000s one that used Toyota Red, we use Toyota Red. In the newest ones that use the new Toyota Pink, we use Toyota Pink just because that's what the seals of that era were designed to run in. The water pump seals were designed around that coolant. And, the head gaskets were designed around that coolant. So, yeah, I always follow suit. I hate the new Toyota Pink because it eats water pump seals and it eats radiators. But, supposedly that's what they're running to condition, the aluminum heads and the aluminum blocks in the new modern stuff. So to keep with that chemistry, we go with what Toyota specs. And yeah, the water pump sealer glue for the pink stuff is way more expensive, than the stuff that goes with the older red coolant. So I would much rather use red in everything so I could get away with using the cheap sealer. But that's not what Toyota spec'd. So that's not how we do them. And I know that's probably a sidestepping the issue thing, just saying, well, Toyota says, so that's how we do it. But I assume that their engineers know a lot more about cooling system chemistry than I do. So, yeah, I go with their recommendation. We keep, we keep the old school green, we keep Toyota Red, Toyota Pink, Subaru Blue, Honda Blue. I think that's it, but that's what we keep in stock. It's kind of the same with oil filters. We keep Toyota oil filters in stock for the ones we do the most. Because I figured Toyota designed those filters to go with an engine, to do the mileage they do. So I would trust a Toyota filter, over an aftermarket. You guys are fine. It's not time yet. Let the dogs out real quick. So to MMA's question about turning on the heater after replacing the timing belt and pouring in coolant, yes, the heater does need to be turned on while you're burping the coolant. You'll get an air pocket up in the heater core, which can turn into an overheating issue or a weird thermostat issue. So yeah, the heater needs to be running to burp the coolant. Otherwise, you won't get it completely full and you'll have an air pocket in the system. Most of the time, that air pocket will work its way out on its own. But I've seen them do weird things. And what's the most mileage I've ever seen on a Toyota 4.7? That is a good question. I'm trying to think. think we've got one that comes through the shop that's got about 350 on it. I think that's the highest mileage one that's been through us. I've seen a couple of 1FZs pushing 400,000 or a hair over. And I think the highest mileage 4.7 I've seen so far is right around 350. I'm trying to think if I've seen one higher. Actually, we've got one at the shop right now that's like 330. Although it's kind of dead now. It's the one that the frame's rusting out of. Engine still runs great, but the frame's rotten. I've heard of people doing 500,000 on the 4.7, but I haven't actually seen one in person. Yeah, I mean they seem to be super strong motors. I've heard I've heard of people messing up cylinders in them, but it's been super rare. I mean, more often you hear of people going to crazy mileage on them. They seem to be a really stout drivetrain. I need to be on the lookout for something like a 100 series or a Tundra that's rusted out to pull the 4.7 out to put something cool in, or put it in something cool. I haven't really worked on the 4.6 V8. Yeah, we do quite a bit on the 4.7. Mostly, timing belts and valve cover gaskets. I don't know that I've done anything on the 4.6 yet, but that may just be because it's in a platform that we don't see a lot of. The 200 series that we're putting the long range auxiliary tank in this week has a supercharged 5.7 in it, so that one's going to be a fun test drive. The supercharged 5.7 is nice. And MMA, I feel for you. I hate it when you've got like a random leak that's keeping you from driving something, after you've put a ton of work into it, and it's just some small thing keeping it from being able to be driven. I keep forgetting about needing to adjust the lights now that daylight savings time. Ooh, that's bad. There we go. That's not bad. Still working on the video lighting here in my office. It was much easier at the shop because the light was on the other side of me, and there was no windows behind me with changing light. So one of these days, I will come up with a good lighting setup. Cool. And stuck my email. Oh, it looks kind of funny. I don't know why it highlighted and did that all weird. I think it thinks I'm trying to tag myself. But yeah, shoot me a video clip, and I'll give it a listen and give it a watch and see if I have any bright ideas on leak and noise. Awesome. Glad the timing belt video was useful. Yeah, that one, when I wore the little head-mounted camera, I didn't realize when I was, recording the video that every time I hit that camera on the intake leaning over, that it made that horribly loud cracking noise in the audio. I didn't catch it until I was editing, and at the time I didn't know how to fix that in editing. So we've since improved our audio for the videos. So I need to go back and reshoot the timing belt videos with better audio and better lighting. But those are one of those like really back burner jobs. And to Nigel, if you just hit start over from the beginning, it'll recap everything for you. We've just been discussing you in your absence. So yeah, don't go back and watch the beginning parts. Yeah, when I was editing that video, I had the volume way up in headphones, and the first time I hit that camera against the intake, I about jumped out of my chair. Which last weekend, I got better video editing software. I got the Pro version, so I can actually edit audio inside the editing software. So hopefully video, audio, and visual quality will improve soon. With the videos this week, I was playing with multiple camera angles and different cameras to see what we can do about improving video quality. It's a very steep learning curve for me. Since I fix Land Cruisers, not produce movies. But I'm trying. I'm working on it. Oh, I'm hoping to get a bunch of time in at the shop this weekend to get the rear bumper for that 80 series finished up, and also doing a water-to-air intercooler for his supercharger. So hopefully we'll have video on that soon. Have I had any requests to do fluid film or similar recently? Yes, I have, and I've turned them all away. We did one fluid film application in the shop a couple of years ago. I still haven't gotten that stuff cleaned off of my lift. You still find slippery spots where that overspray got on there. And we couldn't get that smell out of the shop for weeks. And I hate the smell of fluid film. It is awesome. It seems to work amazingly well at preventing rust. But man, is it messy and stinky to apply. So yeah, we've been asked, and I have turned it down. Yeah, David loves his fluid film. I think you're actually the one that introduced it to me as a rust preventative. And yeah, man, I hate that smell. Yeah, outside would be better, but I am not mean enough to make Crash go lay in a gravel parking lot and spray fluid film. And I'm also, I'm going to pull the old card and say I am too old to lay in a gravel parking lot and do fluid film. I have gotten very lazy since I've gotten used to having lifts at the shop. I really hate working on the ground now. I ache for days after I have to work on the ground. I did a suspension in the low bay a few weeks ago, and I think it about killed me. Yeah, before I moved into the shop we're in now, I ran as a mobile mechanic for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. So yeah, I was working in other people's driveways, the side of the road, parking lots, or my own driveway at home, because we don't have a garage here at the house. And man, I got so tired of it. I thought I was in heaven when I moved into the shop with a lift and heat and AC. I think I did your head gasket got done when we were still living out in Amosville, and I had that detached garage before we actually bought this house. I think that's when I did your head gasket. I remember doing your dual battery setup in my driveway because it was like 15 degrees out, and I smashed my thumb with the hammer crimping one of the wires and broke my thumb in the driveway. So yeah, you go way back. Yeah, I also hate the drip of salty snow in the winter. So yeah, like if it's snowy nasty out, we pull trucks in the evening before we go home and let them thaw in the heat overnight so that when we come in the next morning, they're dry and not dripping. Because I absolutely hate salty snow going down my back. Oh, I didn't realize the old haunted bridge was getting restored. They've been going back and forth about it forever. But I hadn't seen they're actually doing it. That'll actually be nice because my parents actually moved a little bit further out than where we were renting that house. And I can go out the back way from my house here in town and go over that bridge, and it's shorter to get to their place from here. That, and I just like that old bridge. I haven't mentioned it about the other half of the shop. We don't have it yet. I actually haven't talked to the guys that are over there probably in a month or two. Technically, the lease isn't up until April. So that's like the definite occurring date. That they'll be out and we'll be taking the whole thing. Well, at least as definite as it can be with anything with a lease. They had talked about moving out sooner if they find a space closer to where they're at now. But so far, no movement on that. So yeah, we're still biding our time. It's so nice. The one truck we've had in our kind of long-term bay left last weekend. So we technically have 3 open bays in our side right now. And it was so nice because we moved all the extra stuff that's been in the way over to the long-term bay just to make room today. And it was just so nice having more space. So yeah, it's going to make me sad when I have to pull the Seafoam Green 40 in there and start pulling the engine, because then I lose that spot again. And I'm going to be back to tripping on all my stuff. So we started banner ads on Mud a couple of years ago, and the forum, the OTRAMM forum, I guess probably about a year ago, and we saw a definite uptick in business from that. When I started the YouTube, it's crazy. We are just buried in work. Presumably from YouTube, because it's not local people for the most part. I figured we'd do, YouTube videos showing you people how to do stuff, and they would do, follow the videos and do their stuff. But the results really been more of, hey, I saw your video on YouTube. I don't want to do that job. Can I bring it to you? So we've gotten a ton of work off of the YouTube videos, which I really wasn't expecting, when we started making them. So that's I think part of what's keeping us backlogged like we are, because we should have slowed down like at the beginning of the school year. We should have had a slowdown then. And we should be hitting another slowdown soon. And we haven't really slowed down. If anything, we've continued picking up, which is why we're looking at getting in the other half of the shop, because we don't have enough space. So yeah, I definitely attribute a lot of that to the YouTube videos, because we used to have a lot of up and down dips, and it's just been steady. To answer David's question of how far out are we accepting new work, it depends on the size of the job. We've got, for smaller work, I think we've probably got a little bit of availability towards the end of November. And December still got some room for smaller jobs. For big in-depth work, we're probably towards the end of December, possibly even into January. It just depends on the scope of what needs to be done and kind of how far the current work that's on the docket keeps sliding. Because it never fails, we'll schedule a job in for one thing, and then it turns out it needs 3 other things, or something's been butchered and we've got to fix this in order to fix that. And it pushes the scheduling out. Shirley, I'm making a video. Can you guys go play in the other room? Thank you. The dogs are having playtime behind me on the hardwood, if you can hear all the clicking clacking. So yeah, I'm actually really excited about the growth of the shop from the YouTube channel, and then also just how much the YouTube channel has grown in the few months we've been doing it. To be like a legitimate YouTube channel, you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers. And we're at like 960 on subscribers, which is amazing. It's amazing to me that 960 people subscribe to watch me work on Land Cruisers. It's super awesome. And I think last time I checked, we were at like 13,000 hours of watch time. I thought it was going to be insane. I was like, there's no way anybody's going to watch, the whole world is not going to watch 4,000 hours of me doing Land Cruiser videos. Yes, 37 more subscribers. And we hit the 1,000 subscriber threshold, which means I actually would start theoretically making money on the videos. Not a ton of money, but we'd make a little bit, and that helps in motivating me to make more. It also opens up different things we can do in the chats. I think it lets me have like a real channel name, so it'll be like YouTube/OTRAMM instead of the really long string it is right now. And it lets me put the actual links to my website in the videos instead of in the description, so I can make it easier to point out parts and tool lists. So yeah, I am super excited about how close we are to the 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Tell your mom to subscribe. If your dog has a YouTube account, I'd love it if your dog was a subscriber. We're so close. Like at work, I check my phone, every few hours just to see how much closer we are. Because it just amazes me. You see the YouTube channels with, like 1 million subscribers and, millions of views. And, I don't think we're ever going to get there. But 1,000 people tuning into this, it just blows my mind. And we actually, so I think only like 60% of our actual viewers are US based. We have a ton in South and Central America, and then like a ton in like the Middle East, and quite a few from Russia. Yeah, that's the other thing that kind of blew my mind was, I figured it would be, local Virginia folks watching, maybe spread over the US. The amount of overseas traffic that we get to the channel is crazy. Which, I guess they all have Land Cruisers too. Most of the time, more awesome models than we do. And they need to repair them. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It kind of baffles me the reach this has. And I really appreciate everybody that tunes in to chat with me on Tuesdays and watches the videos. I think when one of our videos hit like 100 views for the first time, I was just, it was crazy. It was like 100 people watched this video. I think the timing belt videos are up in the low, like 13, 15,000 videos. Yeah, the 80s series seem to be everywhere. In South America, they all run the 70 series. I don't think I'm ever going to go like with my name in the shop title. Every business book I ever read says don't do that. That, and I'm lazy, and OTRAMM is already on all the main paperwork, so I don't want to redo all that paperwork. So we're going to leave it as OTRAMM. Yeah. Which that would be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever actually get around to doing that. Yeah, I won't tell you the name I tried to get Vince and Nathan to go with before they started Forge. You don't want me naming businesses. I would like to go like Slee and have that super awesome new shop. Blue drove by it a few weeks ago and said it was amazing. Awesome. Yeah, Nigel, have a great week as well. Yeah, I should jump off of here in a few minutes as well to feed the dogs and get dinner started. And I've got to download all the video that I shot today into the computer so that I don't accidentally delete those camera cards. So yeah, thanks for everybody that tuned in this week. I really appreciate chatting with everybody and trying to answer questions. If you haven't, subscribe below. Have your mom subscribe, your dog subscribe, and your dentist subscribe. And if you'd like to help us support making new videos, check out our Patreon site in the link down in the description. Every little bit helps in feeding my camera addiction. So yeah, I'll check you guys out next week. And thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you later.